Never talked about this fully on here, so this is my long COVID journey. When I left uni, I wanted to become a teacher to then go on to do my doctorate in educational psychology. Did all my training, and then I was kind of like a couple of years into being an early career teacher. And I loved it. I really did love it. But it took a lot from me. I started to apply for the educational psychology doctorate thing. So I handed my notice into the school. That was the October 2022, and I then got COVID in the February 2023. It was the day before half term, so I was really pleased because it meant that I didn't have to call in sick for work and I could just spend my whole half term unwell. I know that I forgot to mention, I handed my notice in the October, but I said that I would work until the July so they could find my replacement. The symptoms I got with it were quite severe. I had really bad chest pain. I had quite severe breathing issues. I had heart palpitations. So I knew I had to rest, but I just thought it was like a really bad bout of it. Like for the next 3 weeks, I was just literally like a zombie, just trying to get through each day. A lot of people I've spoken to that have long COVID have gotten better after the initial infection and then slowly got worse, but I never got better. I felt so strongly about going to work that I would just go to work, like somehow I would just muster up the adrenaline and energy to go to work. I remember I kept saying to my students, oh, I'm gonna have to sit down, or like I would lift my hand up to write on the whiteboard and I'd literally feel like I was gonna faint. So as one class would leave, I would then like, yeah, see you guys later, bye. And then I just sit here like this, like, oh my God, as if I have to teach again. And then the next class would come in. 3 weeks into this, I saw my parents over the weekend and they like took one look at me. I burst into tears. I saw a respiratory specialist that week as well, who also signed me off at work for 3 weeks. Being signed off work for 3 weeks was literally like the worst thing that could possibly happen in my entire life at that time. Those 3 weeks brought us to the Easter holidays, so then I had a further 2 weeks off whilst everyone else had those 2 weeks off, and then I saw my GP at the end of those Easter holidays. The GP was then able to refer me to the long COVID clinic, and I was able to get an actual diagnosis of long COVID because it had been 3 months by then. She also signed me off for 2 weeks. Then every 2 weeks would come around and I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go back, I'm fine. And then I'd have to have another sickness letter. And that continued until literally the summer holidays, which is when my notice was going to be handed in anyway. So now I've kind of been slowly working up to being back to where I was, although I don't know if that will ever happen. Forgot to mention, but during those first few months, I got really weird symptoms. Everything in my body became off kilter. Forgot to eat. I genuinely didn't have any hunger cues. I felt sick. I had really severe tinnitus. Severe fatigue. There was just so many symptoms. Maybe I'll list them, who knows. But I'm definitely doing a lot better than I was, and I feel very lucky for that. So, bye.